Homer's mother was still alive after all. When Maggie and the kids met her for the first time, they were so shocked they couldn't say a word. Little Maggie was so excited, she danced an entire DJ set. Homer never dreamed he'd see his mother again at his own grave. If Homer hadn't faked his death, he might never have discovered the truth. That day, the famous philanthropist Mr. Yellow Scrooge brought his staff to do volunteer work by the creek, but all he did was take a few photos and make a show of it before leaving. The rest of the group had to waste their day off picking up trash they didn't even litter. When someone complained, Yellow Scrooge told them to stop whining and keep working. With no benefits for their efforts, nobody felt motivated to clean. Carl wondered why his buddy Homer hadn't shown up. Could it be that everyone else was working while Homer was slacking off? At that moment, Homer appeared upstream at the creek. He was just about to turn and strut away when he slipped and fell into the water. Two jokers saw this and immediately started debating, each betting Homer might still be alive.
He snagged that tree branch.
Oh no! The branch broke off!
Oh, good! He can grab onto them pointy rocks.
Oh no! Them rocks broke his arms and legs!
Oh, good! Those helpful beavers are swimming out to save him.
Oh no! They're biting him and stealing his pants!
But soon after, Homer was swept away by the current. If he got pulled into the turbine, there was no chance of survival. Sure enough, Homer got shredded by the turbine until nothing was left. The co-workers mourned his tragic passing. Yellow Scrooge asked which heroic employee had just died. Smith explained Homer was one of the best workers at the nuclear plant. He brought them honor over the years. Such a good man, how could he be gone just like that? While everyone was grieving, Homer and his father appeared upstream. Bart joked that the dummy they made for $600 was worth every penny. Now they could enjoy a relaxing Saturday together. When Homer got home, he lay in his hammock and refused to move. He had no interest in playing with Bart. Not long after, the newspaper ran the news of Homer's death. The residents of Springfield flocked to Maggie's house. Maggie was baffled. She had no idea what was going on. Flanders subtly suggested to Maggie that since Homer was gone, maybe it was time to hold a funeral. Maggie was shocked. She grabbed the newspaper and declared Homer was still alive. She'd just seen him napping in the hammock. The group went to the yard, only to find it empty. They concluded Maggie hadn't gotten over losing Homer and tried to comfort her. Not long after, Maggie's two sisters showed up with Homer's headstone. They even gifted him a burial plot. They cheerfully explained they'd been saving it for Homer since Maggie's wedding day. Maggie slammed the door on them in frustration. Everyone was just making her life harder. At that moment, the power went out in the house. It turned out the thoughtful electrician had cut the power. Worried Maggie wouldn't be able to pay the bill after Homer's death, he told her unless she got a job, the power wouldn't be turned back on. Maggie angrily shut the curtains, telling Homer to fix the mess it caused and explain everything to City Hall. The next day, Homer went to the government office to announce that he was still alive. He was furious about the death announcement and demanded the staff treat him with respect. They quickly corrected his information, but Homer was still annoyed. He had a deep distrust of government workers messing with people's personal records, so he insisted on verifying the changes himself. That's when he noticed they said his mother was still alive, even though he clearly remembered her dying when he was a child. He told the staff that angel statue outside marked his mother's grave. Every time he passed it, his father would point it out to him. Homer hurried to the grave. All these years, he had avoided facing the truth and had never visited it. When he cleared away the weeds, he realized it wasn't his mother's grave at all. It was the grave of the poet Whitman. Homer couldn't handle the truth and angrily vented his frustration at Whitman's statue. Suddenly, he thought his mother might be buried elsewhere. While searching, Homer accidentally stumbled across his own grave. He panicked. Even though he corrected the records, the shadow of death still loomed over him. In his panic, he tripped and fell into his own grave. At that moment, Homer's mother appeared before him at the gravesite. She told him to get out of her son's grave. Homer was ready to argue with the old lady, but then he frowned. Even after all these years, he recognized his mother instantly.
Mom? Homer? I thought you were dead!
I thought you were dead.
Oh, dang blasted, isn't anybody in this dadgum cemetery dead?
I didn't want to cause a fuss, but now that you mention it,